because the system has continued to kind of, you know, just, I don't know, like put me in a corner with everything. It's just odd and weird, you know, but like I said, you got to change how you approach things. It's not a choice. I mean, you just got to figure it out, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. Hopefully something will give and, you know, we'll be able to get a leg up on everything. That's what I'm hoping for. If not, then it just doesn't happen, you know what I mean? But, you know, we're going to keep pushing with this regardless and doing the best we can because this is big. And it's not really just for me, it's for everybody, man. This is helping a lot of people, you know? So that, at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's about helping others and, you know, waking people up, you know? So, like I said, anything else, I mean, people say things that are just way out of left field that don't exist. I mean, I don't even know how to respond to that anymore because it's a waste of my time because what I'm saying with me, everybody admires me, man. Everybody looks up to me, and like I said, the people who be around.
Everybody hates your guts, and or a lot of us are disappointed that you are still practicing respiration.
Around people like that, right? Who they don't want to just say something positive because they jelly and they envious. They got people all around them, all of them that look up and want to be. They look up to superheroes and want to be a superhero, and then they've seen a real one and the real thing, and they looking at it like they want to be that. So I got people who jealous, but yet the people right around you, they wish they could be like me. So that's what it is. You see what I'm saying? So that's why, like, I'm doing what I need to do the right way. I know how to answer all this. I know how to do things the right way, and that's about it. And I'll talk to you later. Easy money every day, baby.
Yeah, I would say if Charlie Zelenoff was in jail with somebody that had seen his boxing videos, yeah, he would be in imminent danger. Yes, he would have.
And I mean, these videos, they can't catch up, man. You saw the video I just put out one today, what it did already over like 600 views. Boy, stop it. Can't nobody come close to me on this. This is a real hustle and a real business. You don't see me struggling with my business. My business remains consistent. Got a check for almost $135 already approved. They're going to have to pay that this month.
I thought you were bitching about how much they paid. Now you're going to flex on making $135 in 3 months. You don't see where that's kind of silly.
On the 21st and 26th, boy, stop it. The next check already going to be around like $10, I bet you. Like, what are you talking about? I mean, we're making bread over here. I don't care what y'all say.
Well, I'm off to a better start on this one than you are. So far, I have received almost $29 in tips. Thank you very much, everyone.
Who cares how much, whatever? I mean, I'm making money and pretty consistently. I mean, like I said, I've been living off this whole time. It's getting to where it's going to be fairly decent money, I think. And they'll probably offer some more bonuses and stuff. Like I said, I don't know. I'm probably not going to get the 1,000. I haven't heard anything about it. I don't know what's up with that. And like I said, it'll all just get brought up in court, and that's it. But I'm going to have my money regardless. I ain't worried about that. God got me, all right? I'll talk to y'all later, man. We stay winning.
And it is the bottom of the hour wherever you may be in the world. And that is all that I have for you on this now Friday afternoon where I am at. I'd like to thank everybody for spending some of your early day or later part of your day, depending on where you're at with us here on Negative 43 TV. Again, program reminder, we will be here on Saturday, which is, of course, tomorrow. Absolutely it is. We'll be here for Saturday Madness. What are we going to watch? I have no idea. Yeah, except Newfoundland. Yeah, I need to start working that in a little bit more because that's just so very, very interesting. At least it is to me. We're getting ready to go here. Hang out. We've got a new ending here. I'd like everybody here to check this one out before you leave. So, great party, but as always, it's time to bring up the house lights and go home. I'm Rich Baritone, and until the next time, I'll talk to you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got another update regarding the Alberta situation. People within Alberta, at least some of them, petitioning to become the 51st state, which I view as a bit more realistic than all of Canada becoming the 51st state. And certainly, logistically, it makes a lot more sense for a conservative administration to accept Alberta rather than all of Canada as a state, considering Alberta very likely would be Republican, all of Canada would be extremely liberal, and it'd be about 55 total electoral votes if all of Canada became a state, as opposed to just Alberta, where you're talking about a per-person GDP, like top 10 in the U.S. if they became a state. They've got the number one per-person GDP in all of Canada, and they are an absolute powerhouse in terms of gas and oil production, and about 25% of our energy comes from Alberta alone. So this is big stuff. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but Alberta, when you're talking about one singular province, if you are a Republican, by far, no questions asked, that would join the U.S., Alberta would be number one. Not even close. And it's based off of not only the way they vote, but also the amount of resources they have. They're number one in terms of the provinces, in terms of natural resources, and their energy production is impressive. They've also got a technological sector. It's about $13 billion committed there. This is a powerhouse of a province. And so you can see you've got delegation from Alberta headed to Washington to discuss statehood. Now, when it comes to what Donald Trump has said about individual provinces, there hasn't been much in the way of Trump's words on that. It's been more so he wants all of Canada, and Trump supporters have said, oh, it's a joke, it's funny. I've been kind of like, I don't know, is it really a joke at this point? Now, Trump, again, with the tariffs, he's delayed them until April 2nd. And for this time, I'm not exactly sure why. I don't know if there was some negotiation or what it was, or maybe just because of where the stock market is right now. I know he always looks at that. Maybe he's not too happy. But Trump is going to have to figure out what he wants to do with these tariffs, because there is, if you do keep the tariffs on Canada, tariffs are a longer-term solution, which to me doesn't really necessarily fit the Trump profile, to where I'm sure he wants to have a really good economy right now. But it would be like a short-term sacrifice within the next 4.
Or President Trump putting a month-long pause on some tariffs on goods from Mexico and Canada, covered by the USMCA treaty. This after a phone call with the president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum, and negotiations with Canadian officials. I spoke with the president in a Fox Business exclusive yesterday at the White House.
Thank you for joining us here in Los Angeles, California. Have you tried our avocados? Oh, man. We got some damn fine avocados, right, Guillermo?
That's right, Jimmy. Yeah.
I just was looking for something to talk about besides Trump. And you know what I found? Donald Trump has been president for 45 days, only 1,417 to go. Today, he set in motion his plan to dissolve the Department of Education. He directed his new Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon, the one from wrestling, that's right. WWE co-founder Linda McMahon will supervise the important work of dismantling the Department of Education. Good for him, though. Another genius tactical move, I'll tell you why. He keeps getting attacked by all these smart people. What does he do? He outlaws smart. There will be no more smart. Of course, it's also a win for Linda McMahon. The less educated we are, the more likely we are to believe that wrestling is real. And it's interesting how this will work. An executive order to close the department would likely require 60 votes to believe that. Also a win for Linda McMahon. The less educated we are, the more likely we are to believe that wrestling is real. So it's interesting how this will work. An executive order
trying to organize a containment
will likely require 60 votes.
Let's lock
In the
down
Senate,
that AO.
Republicans only have 53 seats in the Senate, so they won't get that, but they will be able to department out. Their plan was taking turn control of education in the states. In other words, bad news for Mississippi. Kids aren't being from Mississippi anymore. Pile of crazy starts to build. A lot of people have been wondering how and when the Democrats are planning to fight back. Well, look out. We got a plan, and we are launching it on TikTok.
Alpha, search the area. We've got 3 Janus Science personnel missing. Your knowledge is critical to mission success, and we take care of our own.
Jackpot, right in the middle.
Yeah, we're not going to stand back and take it, and we're going to fight. What is that supposed to do besides embarrass everyone involved with it?
Any
and
chance
then
you
you
can
see
spit out a
outside
fresh meat
the
pie?
protesters gathered to denounce a bill in the House that would eliminate funding for public broadcasting. So, I'm going to say Food Street, and you're going to say Sesame Street. Yeah, okay, here goes.
You know, the people who lived here trusted us. We failed them, and I can't even explain how.
Maybe I'll look into getting a medically induced coma for the next 4 years. Waiting to sleep it out here. Oh man, if that is the best we got, Ukraine's even in more trouble than we realize. You know, the United States is no longer fighting Ukraine with military aid or intelligence.
Get on with that, you
They're
overblown
largely
slot
in
machine.
regard to taking missile strikes using certain U.S.-made weapons. After Trump kicked them out of the White House Friday, the president selected a direct bill to help the EU summit in Brussels, where the press came at him like a school of piranhas.
I promise you, Box, I can be a much bigger prick than you, so don't fuck with
It's a
me.
very important moment to show that we stand by Ukraine for as long as it takes.
Thank you very much. Dear Antonio, dear Ursula, and I want to thank all our European leaders, first of all, for response, from the European.
Hold on, man, wait a minute. At least one of those was an Mexican phone, I think. There's reports saying that Trump's planning to import more than 200,000 Ukrainians who are living here in the United States while Russia's bombing their country. He's going to send them back through the... At this point, even Putin's like, hey, reel it in a little. You're making this a little too obvious, you know? On top of that, our co-president, Elon Musk, has endorsed the deal, the idea of the U.S. pulling out of both NATO and the United Nations, which is big because Elon Musk, you know, he has 14 kids. He doesn't ever pull out. Baby number 14 over the weekend. The baby's mother tweeted the child's name, which is Sheldon Lycurgus. And I wonder if when he impregnates these women, they have a conversation. He's like, hey, there's one thing that's very important to me. The child must have a ridiculous name, okay? It's interesting because the only guy who even comes close to Elon when it comes to multiple children with unusual names is Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon's got some strange ones too. And with that said, it's time to play Cannon or Elon. First up, Zion Mixolydian. Who's your daddy? Zion, do you know, audience? Elon or Cannon? And the answer is Nick Cannon. All right, next up, Exa Dark Citarail. Elon. You say Elon, and it is Elon. Elon Musk. Next, Zillionaire. Nick Cannon, it is Zillionaire Cannon, that's right. Followed by Onyx Ice Coal. Ice Coal. Nick Cannon? Yeah, that's a Cannon kid. Now this one I think will be obvious too. X-A-A-X-I-I. Is it Elon? It is Elon. Named his kid after his company or his company after his kid. I don't know what. For this one, two children, twins, named Strider and Azure. Who do they belong to? They belong to Elon Musk. Not too crazy, but how about this? Techno Mechanicus. That's right, that is Techno Mechanicus Musk. And finally, Tropical Game Fuel. Is that Elon or Nick? That one is actually a flavor of Mountain Dew. You know, Trump definitely thinks those are stupid names, right? The only name dumber than Techno Mechanicus is Eric. Today, Donald Trump continued playing whack-a-mole with the stock market by announcing he's delaying some of the tariffs he put on Mexico and Canada earlier this week. But Canada's in full-on defense mode right now. In response to the tariffs, many Canadian stores American-made liquor off their shelves. That's all liquor from the United States. It's all gone. And this is a painstaking process for Canadians because they apologize to each bottle as they remove it from the shelf. so sorry.
Team Alpha, Security Chief
Can you
Blanchard.
believe we're shaking down Canada? They must be sorry
Barricaded
because
command
we had such a good relationship. It's like, you know what it's like? It's like we suddenly got hooked on meth and we went to the apartment upstairs and yelled, "You got any money?" Meanwhile, J.D. Vance was busy stirring it up down south at the border of Mexico. He said Trump still wants to finish that wall he campaigned on the first time. We're back on that again. I don't think we need to finish the wall. It feels like this administration is already doing a pretty good job of making sure no one wants to live here. They might have to build a wall to keep us in at this point. One of the sillier things Trump has done since taking office was installing himself as chairman of the board of the Kennedy Center, and as a result, a number of partisan canceled their previously scheduled engagements, including Hamilton. Hamilton, the reason will not be at the Kennedy Center. It will be replaced by a production of Kanye West Side Story, and then followed by an all-white production of The Wiz. One of the big indicators that Americans are paying attention
Some things
to
never
lately are
change.
eggs. Eggs have gotten so expensive and in some places scarce that Trump's Secretary of Agriculture, his recommendation was that we all get chickens. Which would make sense, except the reason we have this problem is because the bird flu. It's not a great time to have chickens in your yard. But of course, there are people making a profit from this, which is usually the case. Even selling eggs on Facebook Marketplace. Like this guy, a lot of them, they go through the fridge, he's selling them for $7 because maybe it doesn't make it. You can get them fertilized or unfertilized. No judgment. Some people, nice people, are actually giving them away. Although from the looks of this photo, he may kill you if you show up at his. And then there are those who are selling whole chicken setups.
Was that so hard? You don't always need to be such a massive
swat. Live by the words, never eat anything you bought off Facebook. But if you are in the market for a new or gently used frittata, Facebook is the place for it. Eggs have been on a lot of people's minds since the election. But the truth is, even though it's something we eat almost every week, eggs are very really not really unless I understand it, since we don't have much of a Department of Education anymore, you have legislative people out in the Boulevard to ask people out on the street, birds have babies, and this is what we learned.
How do birds have babies? The hell? I don't know.
I mean, I know very little about that.
Like, as in, how does the egg breathe inside the bird? I have no idea. How do birds
Double points.
do their crotch?
Babies. Get in this.
How do birds have babies? They hatch them from eggs. How do they get, or do they get pregnant?
Science.
I'm pretty sure something in the rocks with like rocks. The chickens.
Okay.
The chickens have to eat the rocks to form this like hard shell around to produce the eggs in the egg sac. And then
Do male birds have fetuses?
I don't think I know.
I'm sure they do. It's like definitely something.
So figure and power told you I gotta say that they have it. Very much.
So, no, you don't know the answer to that.
Does anything seem to be possible to you?
Okay, to be completely honest, this looks like a tomato. That looks like potatoes. Bacon, but that's not a chicken thing. That's not a chicken thing. Claws. This is an anus.
Does everything happen in that one hole?
Depends who you're asking. I don't know. You're asking me? Usually.
It's like somebody they want a chicken. Okay. Why is she crying? does he do that for?
Just a few minutes.
Do you know what it looks like when two birds?
Bravo Zulu. One less skull spider to worry about.
The one bird can be on top of the other bird like this, and sometimes they do it flying, I believe.
I know that there's like this mating ritual thing, like while the birds are like they like hang on to each other's
Bang,
bodies, like to a death spiral towards the floor. They go, and then right, then they like spiral towards right before they hit the ground. They go, and then I guess like a baby comes out or something.
Stop there. Oh my God, I can't believe it. We have one.
Reciprocals, kicks in on, let's go, I guess the second. And I wanted it to be the first so badly. Just didn't want to be on April Fool's Day. So I made it the second. That's going to cost a lot of money. That one day is going to cost a lot of money, but that's okay. But I don't see it. I don't see anything. I see good reports. I think we're going to have good numbers from the beginning. Now, globalists won't love this because this brings jobs back to America. So if they're coming back to America, maybe you'll lose some in other parts of the world. But the other parts of the world have done very well, and they'll continue to do very well. But I think the United States is going to be doing record business. We'll bring a lot of those 90,000 factories that have been lost over the last number of years. It's been, it's hard to believe. 90,000, think of what 90,000 is. 90,000 plants and factories. And we're going to bring back many of those plants and factories.
One day the tariffs are on, the next day they're not. And the markets, as you know, reverse stability.
There'll always be changes and adjustments, and you can't just. I could have first installed the American car companies. No, I'm not going to give you anything, and then you would have had to say, well, they're getting a little extra. It's just a little bit of a 1 month reprieve. They're very happy about what's happening. They won't have to go across borders, and you see the zigzagging. You have a fender made in Canada, you have something else made in Mexico. We don't want that. We want it made here. But there'll always be some modifications. I mean, if you have a wall in front of you, sometimes you have to go around the wall instead of through it. But I think very little. On occasion, if we can do something, we want to help companies. We want to help companies create jobs. So I could have left that, and you wouldn't have had a minor change. Instead, I was asked by the real majors, the big majors, if they could do this, and I said, yeah, I want you to produce a lot of jobs. And numerous of the people, actually all of the people I spoke to have already been, they're very much on the way to already do that. That's why you have auto jobs increase. And the man, I don't know, Sean Fain, I don't know him, but, and I did great, with the auto workers, with the Teamsters, with the unions, I did fantastically well. Best numbers ever by a Republican. And I have a lot of respect for those people. But Sean Fain, whom I don't know, but wasn't a supporter, although the other workers were big supporters. I watched him last night, and he said Donald Trump is absolutely right on tariffs. He said what he's doing on tariffs is an incredible thing, and it's about time somebody had the guts to do it, because we're going to save auto manufacturing. And I said to people when I was campaigning, you're going to have so many auto jobs, you're not going to believe what's going to happen. We're going to load up Michigan. I won the state of Michigan, as you know. And part of the reason I won it was I got a lot of auto workers that voted for me, Detroit, etc. But I think people are going to be very surprised. Yes. Because it's hundreds of billions of dollars and it's just a waste of money. Now, some people have already taken the money and used it. Actually, it's very hard to qualify because they go by race, they go by gender, they go by all sorts of things. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. You won't be able to find those people. So I don't even think anybody can qualify. But they have so many different categories. In order to qualify, you have to have so many of a certain race, a certain gender, a certain this, a certain... And I don't think they can qualify, but if they take the money, they better qualify because they'll be watching it. But it's a tremendous waste of money. I didn't give the great
the greatest chip company in the world, one of the greatest companies. I didn't give them 10 cents. They came here because of tariffs, because they didn't want to pay the tariffs. And they also came here because they like the results of the election, because they know that I'm very pro-business and pro-jobs. I mean, I'm pro-business, not for business sake. I'm pro-business because of jobs, because business is producing the jobs. Yeah. I believe it. We're doing very well with Russia. Right now, they're bombing the hell out of
Response Team Alpha, Security Chief Blanchard.
finding it more
Copy.
difficult.
Barricaded the command center.
And they don't have the guns.
I'll live.
They don't have the guns.
See if there's anyone left to save. Body cam's live. I'll keep eyes on.
Tuck and sticky.
Russia, which is the price of the and I put a statement in years ago. We're trying to help them. Ukraine has to get involved. Michael, come up here. I see Michael back here. He's traveling all over the world. And
Be advised, we lost contact with 3 of our scientists in town trying to stop the outbreak.
The president has been crystal clear. He's been clear the whole fighting has to stop. Both sides need to get
No, you take all the time you need. It's not like we're going to have the shit to do.
Only President Trump will do so. And only
Boss, you know exactly what this girl wants.
He's had the opportunity to find our economies.
Whoops, where'd the head go?
Unfortunately, that didn't go so well. But we think we're going to get back on track. Secretary Rubio, myself, and Ukrainian delegation will be meeting in Saudi Arabia next week.
For a team with
If
the
these talks
to
happen,
take on the apocalypse today, you're handling this well.
that's Trump's way.
I think both parties on the side. I think if I wasn't president, this war would have had no chance of it. But it's set up and it's not. That stopped. There's on average 2,000 soldiers. That's a lot of soldiers. Repeat it. I actually think he's doing what anybody else would do. I think he wants to get it stopped and settled, and I think he's hitting them harder than he's been hitting. And I don't know if anybody in that position would be doing that right now. He wants to get it ended, and I think Ukraine wants to get it ended, but I don't see it's crazy. They're taking tremendous punishment. I don't quite get it, but I suspect, Michael, he probably wants to get it
Rock on. Looks like there'll be no rest till exfil.
The Russians are taking losses like that. The president said, this is a meat fight. It's people, material, national treasure. No one else has any solutions except to let this war continue forever. But I'll add, the president has had multiple conversations, and this is the president and Prime Minister Storm of the United States. Had it with the Russians. All of this, the president wants months of his leadership. We will engage in the show.
I get a complex because of you. I'm gonna need to switch careers.
His leadership and what leverage
Seriously,
we have.
all I do is deal with boxes.
Not going to be easy. The president wants to never happen.
Yeah, may look like a fever dream, but can't wait to see how it works.
A lot of other things shouldn't happen. Shouldn't have 21 million people pouring into our country. Thousands. Many killed. Far more than one person. They're voting on streets, but Tom Holton and Christian Elman will get them out.
Spider to worry about.
And we'll get them out. But all these things should happen. We should have a election. That was horrible election. The fights are good eggs.
Max ammo.
Well, because, yeah, good question. Because I have to know that they want to settle. I don't know that they want to settle. If they don't want to settle, we're out of there. Because we want them to settle. And I'm doing it to stop debt. More important than anything else. Secondarily, way down the line is the money. So we're into $350 billion, and Europe is into $100 billion. They should be into the same or more than us. And, you know,